Hello and welcome to this AB Tutor Cloud 10 setup tutorial. In this video, I will be showing you how to set up AB Tutor on your Windows clients using a secret token to authenticate them. This is the alternative authentication method if you're unable to use Entra authentication against your domain. For more information on setting up Entra authentication, please click on this card or the link in the description to see the relevant video. Before starting, please ensure that your firewall gives all of your clients full access to abtx.net and abtutor.cloud and their subdomains on port 443, including for access to WebSockets on this port. If this is your first time using AB Tutor Cloud, you will need to create an administrator account on your tenant. The tenant is your private instance of AB Tutor Cloud, which is in charge of your sites and the clients on them. Go to abtutor.com and sign in. Your account page will show you a list of your licenses. If you have more than one, please ensure that you select the correct one for this client install. Click the red Create Administrator button to start the process, and then sign in with your Google or Microsoft domain account. This will automatically initialize your tenant and take you to the admin interface. This is a useful page to bookmark as it allows you to go straight to the admin console without going through abtutor.com. By default, you will land on the Sites tab. A site is intended to represent an individual school or perhaps an individual building. Tutors can be given access to specific sites and can choose between them when they open the console, allowing you to control access at quite a high level. We need to create at least one site, so click the Add Site button and give it a suitable name. At this point, I would recommend that you give yourself access to this site to allow you to check it later. This isn't compulsory, but we recommend it so you can check that the installation has worked as expected. To do this, select the Tutors tab on the left, select yourself, and then tick all of the boxes for your site. For this test, you actually only need the console user role, but you're likely to want full access later. Don't worry about the sliders for now, they can all stay in the default left position. In order to use secret token authentication, we need to create a token. Click the three dots button next to your site and Issue New Token. This creates your token and we'll add it to the install arguments in the next step. Now we're ready to start with the client install, so click the Windows Installer button. This opens a pop-up with a link to the installer MSI and shows you the deployment settings for your site. There are three important pieces of information here: the tenant key, which tells the client which AB Tutor license to connect to, the site ID, which tells the client which of your sites it's part of, and the secret token, which allows the client to authenticate itself. These need to be set correctly on all installs to allow the client to appear in the right place. Click the Download button to grab the installer. There are a number of ways to install the AB Tutor client, but all of them require the installer to be run and the deployment arguments to be set. I'll start by showing you a single manual install, but skip forward to the next chapter if you're only interested in mass deployment. Run the MSI you just downloaded. It will ask for the three pieces of information we've been talking about. These should be copied from the pop-up in the admin site. If you can't see the site secret, tick the box at the bottom. Click Next, Install, and Yes to install the client. You'll see a couple of pop-up console windows as the installation runs. Click Finish when the final window appears, and then go back to the AB Tutor admin interface, click your username in the bottom left, and then select your site from the pop-up menu. If the site name hasn't appeared in the menu yet, refresh the page or log out and back in again. Select the Clients tab, and you should see the new client in the list showing up as online. This tells you that the install has worked. This method is fine, however it's very manual. You don't want to have to do this on every computer in your school. Mass deployment is encouraged with AB Tutor, and you can use whatever deployment tool you like. Microsoft InTune is the most commonly used method, so we'll run through that one here. To install through InTune, go to InTune Apps, and there's a link for that in the video description as well. Click the Add button, and from the drop-down on the right, select Line of Business App and Select. This allows you to choose an MSI file to upload, so click Select App Package File, and then choose the AB Tutor Agent10.msi file we downloaded earlier, followed by clicking OK. On the next page, enter a publisher name. AB Tutor is fine, and then we need to set the command line arguments. The easiest way to do this is to return to the AB Tutor admin console and click the Windows Installer button again. Here, ensure that Include Session Secret Token is ticked, click the Copy button next to Deployment Arguments, and paste it into the field in the InTune page. Click Next. This page allows you to choose which devices the client is to be installed on with these settings. You can add individual groups, or if you just want to deploy it everywhere, select Add All Devices. Click Next again. This final page allows you to check the settings you configured and then create the deployment instruction. At this point, InTune will upload the installer in the background, and once it's finished, it will start deploying the client to your computers as instructed. Other deployment systems will have similar setup processes. Remember that the tenant key, site ID and the site secret must be set for the client to connect. This can be done by creating the registry keys manually, as described in the documentation, or by running the MSI with the correct deployment options. If you install the client without setting the registry keys, it won't be able to connect until the keys have been set and the client has been restarted, but it will work fine afterwards. At this stage, your Windows client should be installing, so the next step is going to be setting up groups, configuring users, and actually using the software. But that's a subject for another video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please let us know by emailing us at support@abtutor.com. We're always happy to help.